my typical work location, but I gotta go once a month to the main location anyways. So I was thinking, I don't think I ever really actually posted my testimony on here. Sorry if you're turning with the steering wheel. I'm driving, but both hands are on the wheel. So anyways, I actually am considered a recovering drug addict. I don't consider myself recovering drug addict. I consider myself recovered and no longer an addict. Because, all honesty, now that I look back on it, our Father, Yah, who I call him, literally took the addiction from me. In 2007, I was not in a good place. Got evicted from our apartment. At the time, my kid's dad went to jail. Got my car repoed. DHS came in. We were going to Colorado, literally packing up to go to Colorado, and he got arrested, and then DHS came in once they found out we were going to Colorado. A bunch of strange stuff that really, in all actuality, it shouldn't have happened that way. Anyways, DHS said that I could go ahead and go on to Colorado as long as I checked in with Colorado DHS, da-da-da-da. But then the cop, it was really bad because the cops were wanting to really get him, and they thought I had something to do with everything that he had done. So anyways, long story short, from 2007, let's see, from spring of 2007 to fall of 2008, I was fighting with DHS trying to get back to Colorado. My drug at the time, it was meth. I had quit it several times. Drug of choice at the time, I would say, was marijuana. But anyways, so long story short, in 2008, I finally got to go to Colorado. Shortly before I got to go to Colorado, I met Steve online, and he lived in Colorado. So in August of 2008, moved to Colorado. Basically, it got to the point to where so my kids' dad at the time, his mom was integrated in this DHS court proceedings. And so that's why it got drug on for so long. So eventually, the court was tired of it. I was doing good. I was doing what I was told to be doing. So finally they said, okay, you're going to Colorado on an indefinite leave of vacation. Just get the kids enrolled in school so that we can let your case fizzle out. That's what they had to tell her in order for me to be able to go, which, anyways. So that was in 2008. Steve and I moved in with each other in October of 2008. Got married in 2009. And I've always believed in God, the higher power, the Father. Did I integrate my life to be His? No. Steve didn't either. You can see Steve's testimony on a previous video. So in 2020, we, stuff happened in 2020, right? And so Steve was listening to this gentleman and brought him Now, at this time, I was working. I had previously worked in the school district. 2020 came around. We were obviously not going to school. By the next school year of the fall of 2020, I was not feeling that the school district was my place anymore with everything going on, the way I believed. So I got another job, and it was working in a warehouse close to home. Well, about a year after getting hired onto that job, the contact center of this place was working at home. And so I thought, you know what? I really do not like driving in the snow. I don't like driving in the weather, so I'm going to go work at home. So Abba took me out of the world. Now, mind you, this was at the beginning of our walk with the scriptures and reading our Bibles and all that stuff and learning. And as you, I don't know if Steve stated in his, we are a full Bible believing couple. If Yeshua did it, we do it, because we want to walk as best as we can like Yeshua, Jesus the Messiah. And so he followed the feasts. He celebrated the feasts. And so that's what we do. We do our best to be just like Yeshua, Jesus. And so that's why we believe in the full Bible. We don't believe that the laws have been done away with, because we believe that, as throughout the Bible, God stacked covenants, and we believe that when Jewish said it was finished, we believe that he was the final covenant to be stacked, and so therefore it's all in one. So going home, working from home, I loved it. And all the way up until this year, I was working at home, and the Father decided that it was time for me to be put back into the world. So that's my testimony, how we came about and came back to this. I was never, looking back, I see that even though I wasn't fully integrating my life with God, I see he was there 100% as I look back. Like, he was there, he was protecting me, guiding me, even though I thought it was my way. I see him everywhere when I look back on everything that happened, from just everything. I was not a kid that grew up going to church every Sunday. I was a kid that, family believes in God. Just did not integrate ourselves into that faith-based life. I went to church with friends, like as a kid growing up, if I stayed the night at a friend's house and they were church-going people, I'd go to church with them and, whatever, and hang out. So kind of learned things that way. But yeah, so coming back into the world after learning things that I have learned with, we're to be in the world but not of the world. It's hard. It is hard. And we pray that Yah gives us something, whether it be in 10 years when Steve can retire or sooner than that, that I can get out of working away from home. We've got our sheep, we've got our chickens. I pray we can homestead every day, and I know that there's a lot of things that we can do, but it's hard, and Yah has us in the world, integrated in the world, and not isolated for a purpose, and I don't know what that purpose is just yet, and I'll see the fruit of it when he says it's time. But it's hard. So like, we don't celebrate Christmas or Easter. We are glad and joyful on Resurrection Day, because Yeshua Messiah, he resurrected, right? But we don't integrate ourselves in the traditions of men. Because there are components of those holidays that we believe to be pagan. And you can do some research on your own on what those are. So we don't celebrate certain holidays. So especially during this time of year when it's October and the holidays are starting to ramp up, and people are talking about, people get so, you know how not stressful it is to not have to do Christmas? I mean, to not have to be like, it's nice. Now granted, throughout the year, Steve and I have 3 children, and they're all out of the house, grown up. And when we were starting this walk, our youngest was 20. So, 19, sorry. 18, 20. He was a senior in high school, our youngest, when we started this walk. And so we didn't have to deal with the littles. But, it's like, we don't want our children to lie, and so we're going to lie to them about make-believe people, make-believe creatures, when throughout the year, if my kids are like, if they make a comment, they're like, yeah, it would be really cool to get this or whatever, if it's not like a huge extravagant thing, we tend to get it for them as a just because gift throughout the year. And they don't have to tell us in July that, oh, it'd be really cool to get this, and then in December we get them this gift, and lo and behold, they ended up buying it 3 months later because now they're adults, or 3 months earlier or whatever. So yeah, we can just be joyful and loving on them. Yeshua said to love thy neighbor, and there are people who are Christians. This is kind of going on a tangent, I guess, too, of not just my testimony, but there are people who say that they're Christians, but yet they treat some people so poorly because they're annoyed by them, they're irritated by them, just let it go. Let it go and love thy neighbor. It is not loving thy neighbor when you talk about somebody behind their back. And that's what's hard about being in the world now and not, instead of working at home, is that sometimes I get caught up in some of the gossip, and then I have to just stop myself, and it's like, I don't like it. I want to serve every purpose of every minute of every day for God, and I'm just trying to find my place in what my gift is, I guess, that Yah gave me. I know I've got patience, I know I've got compassion, sometimes it's hard, and some of the thoughts, and then having to be kind of controlled, right, by a company that I'm working for, of when I need to be here, when I need to be there, So it's just, I'd much rather have does have total control of my life, right? This is part of a plan. But in the same instances, sometimes the company that you're working for is, it's about there seems to be no balance of letting Yah guide you. Or, well, there is a balance. I'm sorry. People who are Christians, they still do things their way and not Yah's way. Your typical Christian. And so, looking at it from my side, when every single moment I want it to be of Yah for Yah, because it is Yah's. And watching people be of the world instead of in the world, and businesses running stuff and doing it on their way and not necessarily Yah's way. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. And the world that we're living in, we'll see where it all goes. So, anyways, I just kind of need to do that testimony / rant. I don't know. I don't know if any of it all made any sense at all, or please like the video if you like it. Comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Subscribe. Ring the little bell icon. I'll try, and it's hard to make content sometimes, but maybe I'll just make this content if you want to know more about certain things. Anyways, shalom, y'all. Have a blessed day.